Recently, I've been working on a private project. A project that I started a year and a half, following nothing but a simple Unity tutorial created by Infenzia. I hope that I spelled your name correctly. As anyone else who took this step at following tutorials, I quickly became overwhelmed by ideas and curiosity. One idea dragged the other, and I suddenly realized that I've been creating stuff that I've never thought myself would be able to do anytime soon. I couldn't even believe it myself. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that the idea is something that I had 3 years ago, almost. I was honestly walking to the gym when I first had the idea, and somehow it's been there ever since. Well, I had the basics of programming, but it's definitely not enough to create a video game. But I think with time, I've come so far, which is the reason why I'm making this video. I think I'm finally ready to show you guys what I've been doing for the past 1.5 years. So that being said, enjoy the video, sit back and relax, it might be a long one.
Hold on a second. What the hell is that? Stop sounding dramatic, for crying out loud.
He's making this story sound like some Greek tragedy.
Lighten up, dude.
K.
On a Saturday evening, I was smashing a couple of buttons randomly on my keyboard. And look! I created something cool. It looks like a self-working blacksmith. As if magic controlling the hammer. And there's something going on here. I think a real blacksmith would probably cringe if he would watch what's going on here. But that doesn't matter. It's just there to look cool, right? It doesn't serve any other purpose. We're gonna see about that. Oh yes, the potion crafting lab. Creating this animated loop was pretty much fun. Well, for the first 5 minutes. I've also created a self-cleaning broom, but it's outside the scene, so I'm gonna speed it up. Oh look, it's alive again. It's getting bigger.
That's what she said!
Oh, floating stairs. Trust me guys, this was an original idea. Ooh, a magical book that flies to you when you get near it. This also has a purpose, right? Yes. In case you didn't realize it yet, you're a wizard. And this is your humble house. The game is an FPS shooter game, but instead of using weapons, you're gonna use magic. Now I know, this is not the first game in the world that uses magic as a weapon in an FPS game, or in any game generally speaking. Usually casting spells or shooting anything doesn't require anything except for a click of a button. I imagine hypothetically, if casting spells in real life would be real, it wouldn't be that easy. And it requires you to use a lot of brain capacity, so you have to think about what you're gonna do. Even in a video game scenario, casting spells is not necessarily easy. Otherwise, anyone else would be able to cast spells from any other class, and even a class like a warrior is able to cast the exact same spells that the mage can, simply because casting spells is easy. Doesn't make sense, right? But that doesn't matter now, so let me introduce you to the simplest spells that you can cast. The first spell that I've ever developed was fire. Then we have thunder, ice, arcane, and guardianship. But this one doesn't do any damage, unless you combine it with something else. Casting the spell seems easy, right? Well, shooting the projectile is easy, but conjuring them might not be. In order to conjure any type of spell, the player has to perform a specific combination using his left hand. Each finger is associated with a special button. So for example, if you press Q, you're gonna lift up the thumb, and if you press the 2, you're gonna lift up the index. There are 5 valid combinations. However, if you dislike the mapping of these buttons, you can change them in the settings. I try to map the buttons in a way that doesn't bother me while conjuring the spells. And if you paid closer attention, you're gonna realize that the finger buttons are really close to the moving buttons. It's not perfect by any means, but I like it for now. Alright, now we reached the cool part of the video. So, this is how you do fire. by lifting these 3 fingers, and similarly for the thunder. Now if you want to cast the ice, here's how you do it. And also the arcane, you need 4 fingers for this one. And lastly, the guardianship.
But wait! There's more! Hang on to your seat, baby! Cause this one's a screamer!
And what kind of magic game would it be if the types have no special effects against each other? I tried to make sense out of this effectiveness circle, mainly how these 4 spells work against each other. But then, there's no logic behind it. Well, kinda. Let me explain. The fire by its nature melts the ice, and the ice is so cold that it can freeze the thunder's energy. The thunder has more energy than the arcane, so it's more effective. And finally, the arcane beats fire because, well, I couldn't really find an explanation why, but let's keep it that way. Now of course the circle works the other way around. So let's say for example that you have encountered a fire elemental in the game. So you better be shooting arcane on him instead of ice, because ice is not gonna be very effective. However, shooting him with thunder is pretty neutral and deals normal damage. The system itself is still under development, but I'm really proud of the combat system, generally speaking. I know that it doesn't look perfect yet, but I'm really happy with the stuff that I reached in this short period of time. Of course I have a lot of things to fix. The animations for example, fixing the melee, parrying, and blocking system. But enough with the combat system for this video, more is yet to come. I never wanted the game to be shooting projectile simulator. The game is supposed to be more than that. In fact, a huge part of the game is combining spells. In this example, I'm combining fire and ice together. The player has the ability to conjure 3 spells at the same time. Combining 2 at least gives you a special ability that you can cast. For example, combining 2 fires together gives you something like flamethrower. Or combining fire and ice gives you something like water gun. If the spell is not on cooldown and you have enough mana to cast the spell will be casted normally, but the right hand that carries the spells will be emptied, allowing you to craft the next spell from scratch. If you don't have enough mana or the spell is on cooldown, you will shoot the first projectile that you have conjured. In this case, I've conjured fire as the first spell. And even though I've conjured a valid spell, since it's on cooldown, I will only shoot a fireball, because that's the first projectile that I've conjured. And since I've destroyed the trainings dummy, and I don't have another one in the house, I just have to interact with this hourglass. I think that was it for the spell combinations, since I want you guys to be curious for the next videos. So, why don't we check something else? One of my friends was testing the game, and the very first thing that he told me that conjuring the spells is really hard.
That's what she said.
So I had to think of something else. Something more suitable for casual players that don't want to torture themselves.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Where the fuck are your—
Sanity and preservation for your precious brain cells.
So I decided to create multiple difficulties. The hardest difficulty would be controlling a finger each button, and the medium difficulty would be a little bit simpler. Since you have 5 fingers and 5 spells to conjure, I associated each combination with a single button. So for example, pressing Q is enough to conjure fire. Well, you still have to press the conjuring button, which is V. I didn't mention that earlier, sorry for that. But now you can conjure it very easily. Now you might think to yourself, problem solved, right? No, it's still difficult. So I decided to take a completely different approach. I think I'm gonna create a skill bar. So it's pretty much enough to click one button to conjure any type of spell as long as you have it in the skill bar. And that could be a little bit challenging, since I still have no idea how the UI is supposed to look like. However, I have a concept in mind. The easy mode is more suitable for people who want to enjoy the game. And that's the point, at the end of the day. So I had 3 criteria in my mind. The UI is supposed to be customizable, easy to use, and easy to understand. But I believe I'll be talking about it in other videos, since I got nothing to demonstrate now. So in total, we have 3 difficulties: hard, normal, and easy. The plan is to be able to switch between these difficulties whenever you want. Now I believe that I've showed enough in one video. I really hope that this small demonstration has successfully captured your curiosity. If so, why don't you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more? I would really appreciate it. And that's it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed the showcase. I'm planning to do more videos in the future because I believe that I've achieved more than what I've shown in the video. So let's take it easy. We don't have to rush anything. Thanks for watching and bye for now.